Are you guys ready? Because we are on a digital journey. This is about getting off that cycle of building digital experiences that can only be described as this really weird historic cycle of learning to crawl, then learning to walk and run, and then falling flat on our faces. At least that's how it feels, right? Because we've been iterating and experimenting so much with digital experience, and we've been fighting about all the things that go into personalization. We've been racing to find all of these new ways to connect, but let's try to simplify it. Let's maybe get out of that cycle for a minute, because the reality is today, it's not about talking about how we do digital or how we deliver digital. It's about how we are digital. In fact, the digital plus economy is going to rely on all of us being digital. And that's a different mindset. That's a different conversation. And yes, it is a different stack, but it's also a different culture. So let's dig into that for a second. We need to make sure that we are building systems, that we are building strategies that account for three really important stakeholders when it comes to delivering our businesses. Our customers, of course, come first, but our people also have to be part of that equation. Our partners have to be part of that equation. Everyone comes into this ecosystem because in this age of co-creation, we are literally all in this together. So, what do we really need to do to build and accelerate those positive experiences? First and foremost, we need to focus on structure. What's our foundation? What are we building these experiences on? So as we start to look at the tools, the systems, yes, even the data that we're building, we need to look for a word you guys are going to be hearing a lot about, which is composable. But always keep in mind, something that is composable is meant to be a solid foundation. With a composable architecture, you are building that rock solid bed on which you can build any number of flexible and scalable tools. The second thing we need, data. No, we're not getting away from it, but it should be a lot less scary these days. Remember those days when everyone used to tell you that it was about big data, dark data, scary data? All the things that we have learned to be terrified about data, we forgot to mention one thing. Data, for any of us, is actually the electronic, digital manifestation of every single individual company, every single individual customer living right inside our organizations. So bring them to the table. Make sure that your composable architecture and the data that gets to sit on top of it is all shared for everyone in the organization to take advantage of. Also make sure that the tools that you're bringing into the organization can live anywhere. Because here's the reality of digital experience. Digital happens anywhere because your customers are engaging anywhere. This isn't about one function, one team, one person having access to the right thing. This is about everyone having the capacity to engage where, when, and how your customers, your partners, the entire ecosystem wants to engage with you. What's the third thing we need to look at? It's automation. There's a funny thing about how digital has evolved. Digital has evolved really quickly, but we can't make decisions fast enough to keep up with those digital ecosystems and the power of personalization. So, automation helps us not just with decision velocity for our people to make better decisions about what experience to deliver, but it also helps us drive that velocity of content. It takes everything that we are creating, no matter where it is being created, and helps us deliver it into the right hands at the right moment. So when we start to think about this age of digital, first and foremost, be digital. Go do it. Jump in. Don't think about how you can be there. It's not about doing, it's about being. Focus on automation. What are the tools and systems that give you those smart capacities to actually automate really hard systems so that you can be flexible and so that you can scale? But also look at composability. First in architecture. Then look at composability of everything you're creating on top of it. We're talking about modular content pieces. We're talking about pieces that come together, not just how you want them to come together, but how your customer wants them to come together. Because in this age of an experience cycle, it's about crawling, walking, running, falling all at the same time. And we're all doing it together. The great news is there are tools and systems that allow you to do this, but you have to have the strategy that front loads the customer, the data, all of your systems, and automation first.